Hey, what's happening, YouTube fam? I want to welcome you to the Lil J Show. I am Lil J. Hope everybody is having a wonderful and blessed day. I hope it's going absolutely amazing for you guys. Hey, we got a little city that I want to put on the spotlight today, Senatobia, Mississippi. We're going to look at this. It says it's approximately 35 to 40 miles north of Memphis, right? Population is like 84 to 8,500. So it's a pretty small town. You know what I mean? So I went into it, tried to do a little bit more, look at information on the city. And it's not a sundown town, and that's nothing bad. In fact, they say the majority of the population is black people, but they're having a problem with um, the police and youngsters, teenagers, adolescents. They having a problem. Like the interactions haven't been good so far. Like their record is like 0 for 3, I think. Just dealing it's been straight L's when they deal with youngsters or any type of involvement with youngsters. You know, and the reason why I am doing a video on this city is because it was an incident that happened, I believe, yesterday, where a 1-year-old was unalived by a police officer. And it's terrible. But, as I was reading, um, they were talking about the police and, where they have these little run-ins with the teenagers. They've had some awful, awful things that happen. When they deal with youngsters, yeah, it's crazy. Like one of the articles I read, it was it was just on one. It was one that they put out there. I read, and it was crazy. They said something about the police officer uh, put a boy in the back, drove him to the jail, and put him in a jail cell for just urinating behind his mama's car. So like, let me see what this is right here. Hold on. Let me read this right here. There we go. It said Senatobia police officers had interacted with children occurred in August 2023 when officers placed a 10-year-old boy in a police car and took him to the station for urinating behind his mother's car. Wait a minute. In the parking lot of a lawyer's office, she was visiting. So the mother was in the office. I guess the little boy had to use it, and some people be like, wait a minute, why he just didn't get out and go in that office? You know what I mean? And ask to use the bathroom. And that's true. But what if he just really had to go and he just, you know what I mean? He couldn't hold it no more. So he just went on behind the car. And while he was doing that, they just so happened to pass by. No. Let's look what this let's listen to what the rest of this says. It says at the time, the police chief Richard Chandler told news outlets that the child was not handcuffed. He wasn't handcuffed though. But the boy's mother said he was put into a jail cell. At 10 years old, he was put into a jail cell. So he's put into a jail cell at 10 years old. So they have nothing better to do in this little small town except try to scare the living daylights out of little kids, put them in a jail cell. This is where you'll be if I catch you doing this again. And then I'm pretty sure it was a probably inconvenience of the mother too, because she had to, drive down there and get him out. They wasn't finna charge him with nothing, so what was the point? All right, so it says Chandler said the officers violated training about how to handle children. You're right. He said one of the officers involved in the boy's arrest is no longer employed with them. We don't know if he got arrested behind this, but he's no longer employed with them. With the department, and the others would be disciplined. Listen to this. Oh my God, this is crazy. Months later, a youth court judge sentenced the boy to 3 months probation and assigned him to write a 2-page book report about Kobe Bryant, the late basketball star. So wait a minute. Oh my God. This is funny, man. Like, what did he do? Please tell me what he did. Do you think that? Well, I don't know. You know, some of these white. I mean, some of these. I was gonna say, but I'm not. But some of these women out here, they might. Oh my God, what is he doing? The boy's peeing. You know what I mean? It's not like you never done that before. Especially if, you're a mother and you got little kids, you got little boys. I'm pretty sure you've let that little boy pull out his little thing, let him handle his business off somewhere. But oh my God, that is just not right. The judge, 10 months, they gave him 3 months probation. 10 years old, they finna get this boy probation. They don't have nothing else better to do. You know what? Instead of them harassing 10-year-olds and stuff like that, inconveniencing the mother, they should be sending these police officers for more training. That's what they should be doing. I mean, come on, man. If it was an issue, why didn't they just like cite the mother right there? You know what I'm saying? Just could have just gave her a little ticket and went on about their business. They make this 10 years. It's funny to me, man. It's crazy. 10 years old. Now can you imagine this 10-year-old boy going to court, standing in front of a judge, and he's like, "I'm gonna sentence you. I'm gonna show you that that's not what you do." I'm pretty sure this damn judge didn't had to use the bathroom and walk behind a building or something like that. Come on, man. We've all done it. Why would you sentence him to 3 months probation? 10 years old. That is like the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. All right, so made him write a book about Kobe Bryant, a report. The child's mother refused to sign the probation agreement. I would have too, because that's like the dumbest shit. After the reading, After reading the full agreement reached by the child's attorney and a special prosecutor. So they wasted the taxpayers' dollars and then probably had to get the mother hired an attorney. They wasted the taxpayers' dollars on a 10-year-old pissing behind his mama's car. Special prosecutor. You gotta be kidding me, man. Are you serious? So it makes me wonder, it really does make me wonder, like, was this child, was he white? Was he black? You know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder that, because why are they trying to go through all this trouble to put this kid on probation for just peeing outside? I could see maybe if it was a grown man, you know what I'm saying, indecent exposure, something like that. He's a 10-year-old kid. Boy, these people, man, some people, they don't need to be police officers, judges. They don't need to be in office. I mean, this is stupid, man. If this shit would have came across my desk and I was an attorney or a judge, I would have laughed at that shit and put it in the paper shredder. What kind of shit is this? And then for them to put him in the jail cell, I would think the mother would be able to sue them for that. This kid he's 10 years old. Oh man, God, some of these people, man. Some people, they have nothing else better to do but harass a 10-year-old. Or even at that. if they see the little kid peeing behind the car, could just stop and block it to where nobody else could see him and let him handle his business. Tell him, hey, don't do it again, and drove the fuck off. Oh my God. Just the stupidity of this shit, man. It's stupid. Oh my God, man. All right, so it says, as of mid-June, at least 12 officers involved in shootings have occurred across Mississippi this year. So 12 officer-involved shootings, okay? But it doesn't say nothing about teenagers, you know. So down here, Mississippi law enforcement officers have fatally shot at least 4 teenagers between the ages of 15 and 17 since 2022, according to the records maintained by the Mississippi Today. And the deaths, officers reported they believe the teens were involved in criminal activity, of course. It's always an excuse, right? So they have some law-abiding citizens, and they have, you know, some unruly citizens. But yet these police officers in Mississippi or in these little small towns, they are using deadly force on teenagers. It's sad, man. It's really sad. So here's one that says, including the then 11-year-old Darren Murray, who in May 2023 was hit in the chest and suffered a collapsed lung, fractured ribs, and a lacerated liver. Okay, now it says something. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but it says an Indianola police officer responded to his home when the boy helped his mother call for help. And the boy called for help about a former partner who was acting irate. A Sunflower County grand jury later declined to indict the officer for criminal charges. This is crazy. They declined to indict the officer after this little boy didn't call the police to try to get help for his mama, and they ended up shooting him in the chest. But yeah, and still they do shit like this. They wanted to put this little kid on probation for 3 months. But they don't want to indict the officer for shooting a kid. He was 11. They finna put a 10-year-old 3 months probation for just peeing, but they refused to arrest the officer for shooting an 11-year-old. And I guarantee he was black too. I guarantee that. So I don't want to go into all of that, but they just got a bad record dealing with little kids and teenagers and little children so far. But what we finna get into now is it was a 1-year-old. He was unalived. I believe he was with his mama. He was with somebody, and she was trying to get away from the police. And what do you know? They shot in the car, and a bullet struck this 1-year-old. And I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna be able to get away with this too. And I'm gonna tell you why after we watch this video. Let's go.
I don't know anything right now. My grandson gone. I just want justice. The fast way.
Tonight, the family of a 1-year-old little boy shot and killed by a police officer in North Mississippi calling for justice as the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation now takes over that case. Hi, thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. An adult was also injured after that shooting that started as a shoplifting call at the Walmart in Senatobia. WRG's Caitlin Barker is live in Senatobia tonight. And Caitlin, you spoke with those relatives just hours after that incident today.
Good evening, Shay. Well, I spoke with many relatives right now. They're very upset and understandably very emotional. And they tell me right now they have more questions than answers.
We don't really know anything. We don't know why it happened or whatever. All we know is that a car was shot up and a 1-year-old baby was killed.
A family is heartbroken after 1-year-old Kohen Wiley was shot and killed during an officer-involved shooting at the Walmart on US 51 Sunday afternoon. According to NBI investigators, the incident involved Senatobia police officers and the Tate County Sheriff's Office. The NBI says law enforcement officers were responding to a shoplifting call. When officers arrived, they, quote, encountered 2 subjects and a juvenile child fleeing the store. Police say when they attempted to stop the vehicle, the driver drove in the direction of the officers, almost striking one. That's when an officer, quote, discharged their weapon before the vehicle fled at the scene.
Look at this car. Look, there's they shot in the front windshield, knocked that one out, completely out. I want to see the other bullet holes. But look at this. They shooting up like this. That's a pretty high shot. You have to aim, kind of like chest up. I mean, your arms is like even with your shoulders to shoot that high. Now, don't you think they could have aimed at something else?
It didn't have to happen this way. It could have been handled differently.
Nicole Wiley, a relative of those involved in the incident, says she doesn't understand how a shoplifting call could lead to a child being shot and a woman in critical condition that she believes was over diapers.
A Senatobia, Mississippi policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
After the shooting, authorities say the driver, along with the child's mother and the child, came to the local hospital where 1-year-old Kohen Wiley was pronounced dead and another individual had critical injuries.
I'm just lost for words, to be honest.
Everybody held accountable.
Someone need to be held accountable for it. It's just not right.
While this family grieves the loss of little Kohen Wiley, they tell me getting justice for the little boy is a top priority.
Everything and everybody that was involved need to be held accountable. I'm not giving up until I get justice. It's a must.
Well, like you said, everybody that's involved needs to be held accountable, and she ain't giving up until she get justice. That is a must. And you're going to get it. But I feel like it's not going to go in your favor. And I'm going to explain this to you, to everybody who's listening. Now, the way I see it, like I told you, for them to be standing up, I seen the other side of the car. The other side of the car, it didn't look like it was hit up too bad. It looked like everything was on the passenger side. But for a police officer to be shooting inside of a vehicle, or anybody was to shoot inside a vehicle, they're going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Their arms are going to be level with their shoulders, right? So are you telling me that there's no way that you could have aimed at the engine block, the radiator, the tires, or even just let them go, let them go a little further down the road, have you another officer down the road with the spike strips? It could have been handled differently. Yes, it could have. A lot of people, and there's, a lot of people, they're going to say, hey, it was whoever's fault it was, they shouldn't have been committing crime. Yeah, like I said, rest in peace to this little boy. I mean, 1 year old, that's really, that's young. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will say, yeah, you shouldn't be committing crimes, especially when you got a baby in the car. I know times is hard, and I'm pretty sure if that was his mama that was with him, she was probably young too. But it's still no excuse for it. If you knew that you was, or you felt like you had to do this, you could have had somebody watch your kid for you. If you out there, and you got in your mind, this is what you need to do because you don't have no money. The kid needs diapers. You should at least try to, take them to the grandmama and take them to the daddy for a minute. You know what I mean? Something, or at least waited until somebody could watch the kid for you. I mean, there's a lot of people out here hustling, so I can't sit up here and tell them, no, you can't, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to have your child. You know what I'm saying? Times are hard. People are hustling. I don't care what it is. They're hustling. You can go to a store right now and something that cost you 30 cents now is almost $2. You know what I mean? So yeah, people are robbing you the legal way as well. But you shouldn't have been able. You shouldn't have had the kid in the car with you. You shouldn't have had that kid in the car with you. And I hate it for you, ma'am. Who was a lady that was injured. I hate it for you. Rest in peace to you. I mean, to your son. And then so I wanted to say this too, like the lady said, she won't stop until she gets justice. Well, what I was saying, justice will come, but I don't think it's gonna be in y'all's favor because that's just like this is basically the same thing as I ain't no expert in law, but I know I cannot say the name of what they call it, but just say like me and a friend of mine try to go rob a house or anything. We try to go to the store and steal some stuff. Well, they catch us, the police, they gone out tail. We hop out and start running, and they hit my homeboy and kill him. Then they find out, or unalive him. Then they find out who I am, and they come get me. So they're gonna charge me with him being unalive. They're gonna charge me for his being unalive because he died while we were committing this crime together. So I don't know what they call that, but that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna say that this little boy died because she was committing a crime. It's gonna be shoplifting, evading arrest, or apprehension, whatever they want to call it, and that was the result of it. So that police officer is finna get off again. They're gonna get off again. And I feel like, to me, instead of them harassing 10-year-olds, they should be out giving them some more training. You know what I'm saying? Why would you? And like the lady said, it was a busy place. Why would you shoot inside of a car and you don't know who's in that car? You know what I'm saying? You don't know who's in that car. So why would you shoot inside of a car? Why wouldn't you just like, okay, I don't know what's inside this car. I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? So let me either shoot at a tire or shoot at a engine block. Let me shoot at something that's going to disable this car because we don't know if it's children in there. You know what I'm saying? Or just follow her until we can get her down the road and do the little pit thing, or have an officer sit out there with them little spikes, blow the tires. And I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that it's not one of them police officers that's, one of them ones that basically hate the color of your skin type, the one that did all this right here. Because I'm hoping that he's feeling the remorse, like he's just feeling like total crap that he unalived the kid. Because I don't feel like he should have shot in that car, no matter what the situation was. Or she tried to run me over, and that's gonna be another charge too. Because they can say that you was basically using that car as a weapon. So they can charge you with that too, to just try to get all the blame off this police officer. So as more of this situation, the more it comes out, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna pull this girl's record and they're gonna just air it out. Well, she's been this, she's done this, she was caught this, she was arrested for this, she done this, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna try to put it out that she was just this horrible person. If she's never been in trouble before, that's what they're gonna say. Oh, well, she tried to use that car as a weapon, so that police officer didn't have a choice. Yeah, he did. I know he got his tail out the way. It didn't say nothing about an officer being hurt. Didn't hear nothing like that. But this is sad, man. This is another sad situation. Boy, he didn't even get a chance to live his life yet. All behind some diapers, man. I just wish his mother would have, whoever it was, I keep saying the mother, but we don't know who was in there. I just really wish they would have stopped and just faced it. You caught. Let me pull over. Let me do something, man, because I got my child in the car with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about you, especially if you got a child. You need to do what's best for that child. Because he could have, like he said, this is the worst possibility, but then, you know, if it would have been a pit maneuver or something like that, they could have injured, everybody could have been injured. But for them to shoot inside that car, man, and not know who's in there, that is like that's very dangerous. Very. I wouldn't want one of my police officers to do that. They could have, like I said, drove him down, got him down the road, and bust the tires. You know what I'm saying? Why you want to shoot inside an occupied vehicle? Hey, but y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. This is very sad, man. You know, and I want to see if I can keep tabs on this situation and see, because I feel like I can 100% guarantee you they're going to try to charge this person who was driving with the unaliving of this little boy. And may he rest in peace, man. Y'all have a good day.